Hi, this is your girl Tori. Welcome to the Keep the Faith podcast. And give me just a second, folks, because I want to make sure we are live. Because I don't see it coming up on my page. So give me just a second, Jace. Let me make sure.
Take your time.
It's coming up. Let's see. Hang on.
Take your time.
This is crazy. I don't see it.
I see he's got live in the corner over here on my side.
But are you on your hang on, you guys, it's technical difficulties. It's saying live. I know it's live. I know we're live on YouTube and Periscope, but it's not showing that we're live on Facebook. So that's what I'm trying to see.
All right. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it either on Facebook.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, give me just a second. Let me log out and try to log back into Facebook.
All right.
But we are live.
Okay.
On YouTube and Periscope. Trying to get the Facebook up.
Okay.
So let me see.
Yeah, I check your podcast out. It's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Okay. All right. We're live on Facebook now. So what's up, Jace? How are you?
I'm doing well. No complaints.
Listen, you guys have got to excuse the blunders. My internet is running a little slow. There's a little lag, so just pardon me. But Jace, how you doing? I didn't mean to cut you up. How you been?
I've been great. Just enjoying every day, living life to the fullest. That's
what's up. Now, let me tell you how I heard about you. I want to say it was back in October. Okay. I was watching a Party Kings Live at 5 that they did, and I remember Buddha interviewing you and Miss Lithonia, and I was like, who is this dude? And you were like dropping some serious bombs. I was like, you know what? I got to see who he is. So before we get into the first song, matter of fact, before we tell everyone your story, I'm gonna put up your picture and I'm gonna play part of this first song. One of the first songs when I first heard about you. And I was like, let me see who this is. So let me add this picture to the screen and I'm going to play this first part of this first song.
Okay. Let's rock and roll.
Who don't like motivation? I believe in you. So should you. J.A.C.E the Reacher. Oh man, this feels special. Feels good. I'm 5'5", I would never be a ball player. But let me tell you one thing about your small neighbor. I've been given the gift to reach you with that raw flavor. To motivate you to strive first and talk later. One that breaks the rules, the best could be a lawmaker. He saw a technicality on his assault papers. The man that loves fighting and being a jawbreaker could become a boxing legend if he thought greater. But he must be willing to take one across the chin and learn that accepting loss is how you always win. As long as you climb out the hole you have fallen in, you could be the one to help people learn to walk again. You love to hoop, grab the ball when it comes off the rim. Eat, sleep, and breathe in that building we call the gym. How would you feel if by chance you just lost your limbs? Take advantage of your gift so you should part with them. I witnessed so many people stand up at the scale and ignore that weight class, feeling sad and frail. But within you is where true talent dwells. Keep in mind 1 Corinthians chapter 12. Don't want to look at your life and wonder where it went. I started rapping, been addicted to it ever since. Buying the beats is the best dollar I ever spent. That's my story. You should get inside your element. Get inside your element. Cause all that other business is irrelevant. That gift of yours is heaven sent. Don't wanna look at your life and wonder where it went. Find your gift and get inside your element. That sister's a lawyer that loves to she must struggle with fate. Graduate from law school and beat the ugliest case. And with your girl named Grace had to suffer through rape by the nephew of the crooked man that governed the state. She was threatened and told she had too much on her plate. But in the end, sister lawyer got justice for Grace. Time to get inside your element, rest inside your niche. Why would I become a plumber when I specialize in this? Preach to the people, J.A.C.E, that's why I exist. Wanna live life to the fullest? Then exercise your gift. Under the blood of Christ, that's the only way to raise the stakes properly. Got God with me, get your wages straight. Every day's a gift to start over, so stay awake. Just ask sister lawyer, that's truly amazing grace. Don't wanna look at your life and wonder where it went. I started rapping, been addicted to it ever since. Buying the beats is the best dollar I ever spent. That's my story, you should get inside your element. Get inside your element. Cause all that other business is irrelevant. That gift of yours is heaven sent. Don't wanna look at your life and wonder where it went. Find your gift and get inside your element. I love my wife, she helped me rule in my element. Stick with who sticks with you, screw being arrogant. Once you make the choice to strive, you gon' need help with it. Try, you won't fail, that truth is so definite. Cause you're doing exactly what you was put on earth to do. So God reserved the tools to see that purpose true. My people, you were born for this, raw servitude. To the Father's the reason your mama gave birth to you. Don't wanna look at your life and wonder where it went. I started rapping, been addicted to it ever since. Buying the beats is the best dollar I ever spent. That's my story, you should get inside your element. Get inside your element. Cause all that other business is irrelevant. That gift of yours is heaven sent. Don't wanna look at your life and wonder where it went. Find your gift and get inside your element.
Yeah.
What up, Jim?
Oh,
Yeah. Get inside your element.
listen, I didn't want to stop. I was like, yo,
I appreciate it.
stop. That's one of my jams. Now, for those that don't know, because like I said, I was listening to a live that you did back in October on the Party Kings Live at 5. And that's when I first heard of you. So those that do not know who J.A.C.E the Reacher is, tell us a little bit about yourself and just, share with people your story.
Okay. J.A.C.E the Reacher is a rapper / preacher, motivational speaker, and, basically a survivor and a thriver, through the power of God. I grew up one of those kids that was smarter than everybody else around me. I was different than my peers. So I started to try to transform into what my environment looked like. Didn't, have the guidance of a man in my life, many young black men go through not having a father figure. My mom did the best that she could, but I just didn't have anything to model my talents after. So, as a usual young black man, growing up in the hood, I started to look at the drug dealers and, the gangsters and the rappers and things like that to try to form my own image of what a man was supposed to be, and I ended up, getting out of school. I went to one of the best schools in the country, but I didn't apply myself because nobody else around me looked like I look as far as how smart I was and things like that. So I didn't want to be a nerd because it didn't fit into, my social standing or whatever, my environment. So, I ended up moving to Baltimore when I was like 10 or 11. And that's where I really jumped off the porch. I started getting in trouble, getting in the streets and things like that. I was always a smart kid, but I just wanted to, find my own way. I knew God existed. He's the integral part of my life. Christ is, my Lord and Savior. But I ran the other way. I pulled a Jonah. And I ended up getting kicked out of school. I came down back to Sumter, graduated by the grace of God, got my diploma, went back up, Baltimore. And, I just started snowballing into, different things from addiction to, robbery, all kind of things I got involved with. And I just found myself on this, real dark path. And I ended up getting caught up in the middle of a situation where, somebody was killed. And I got incarcerated. I got sentenced to 11 years. I had to do 9 years and 4 months in prison. I'd been doing music on the streets and things like that, but I hadn't truly found my purpose for being. But when I got incarcerated, I picked up the Bible. I stopped rapping and everything. I picked up the Bible, and it seemed like it had all the answers for my life. And I started to understand why I was the way I was. I started to understand the Bible, started doing Bible study. And then one day, I felt the Lord telling me, start rapping again. So I started to write, and, during the course of incarceration, I wrote a lot of rhymes. I wrote like over 16,000 just bars and stuff like that. But it was just me getting out of a lot of the venom out of me. And I had to realize that my gift was for other people. People knew me in the streets and, the havoc that I caused. And the influence I had was a negative one. But I didn't know how to be the positive leader because I wasn't following after anything positive. So I ended up going through a transformation in prison. You know, I was inside of a box and I learned how to think outside of the box. And you know, I just accepted Christ. I started writing music, and I would just start having dreams about different things and just write these stories down. After a while, you know, I just realized that was my gift. So I continued to write. I wrote a book. I worked on myself every day. And you know, I was just thankful for the second chance to come out here, you know, into society. I got out 6 months ago, July 31st, 2020, and it's been on ever since. You know, the Lord has been opening doors, and I have so much music to share with the world. So much music.
Well, let me ask you this question. You know, with the background that you have, what keeps you motivated? Because, you know, we could tell people all day long, because I know I try to tell people, but I try not to, you know, because I'm a believer in Jesus Christ as well. And I can't, you know, force my religion on anyone. But what do you tell those people that don't believe, may not believe in a higher power? And also, what do you do to stay focused so that you don't go back to what God delivered you from?
Well, you know, while I was incarcerated, I made it a practice to stay in the word every day, wake up with the word. Before I even go to work, I put on the whole armor of God. I talk to the Lord, you know, stay sober, remain sober, and things like that. You know, so we're creatures of habit. So a lot of times we'll have a habit and then we'll stop whatever it is, smoking or drinking, whatever it is, but we don't feel that habit with anything positive. You know, so when it comes back, we ended up worse, you know, than the first, you know, the first state of that person. So what I basically tell people is, and what I do for myself, is to continue to practice positive habits. Make sure that you have people around you that are where you want to be or have a positive perspective on life. And just remember that for me, I remember waking up every day being told what I could do, what I had to put on, where I was going. And it just instilled a fire in me, you know, to come out and just speak the word and let other, you know, young brothers or whoever it is know that you never have to be afraid of being who you are. You never have to be afraid of not knowing who you are. And if you seek God, he'll give you, you know, the direction, because, you know, none of us really know. None of us really know, but he knows. So that's basically my encouraging words to people, is just get inside your element, find out what you're good at, and you stick to that. Whatever it is, you stick to that and talk to the Lord about it.
As facts. Well, there's some other questions I want to ask as well. But before we get into more questions that I have to ask, I'm going to play another one of your songs, because, you know, I have so many favorites. Now, this song that I'm going to play now is called Bianca. And I'm actually a huge Tupac fan. And just like I was telling you, this particular song reminds me of the Tupac song, Brenda's Had a Baby. And in this song, I can relate on so many levels to this particular song, with different things that are different traumas that I've had to experience in my own life personally. So I can relate to this song on so many levels. So I want to play this song. And matter of fact, tell us a little bit about the song, because I can't introduce your song better than you. Tell us a little bit about the song Bianca. What inspired you to write this particular song?
Well, in all honesty, you know, I know a lot of women who are close to me or are close to me, and they've been through trauma and things like that. And God had given me the ability to be a voice box for people that don't say the things that they want to say. And, you know, I just wanted people to know, and God just wants, you know, women to know that you're not ruined, you're not damaged because of something somebody else did to you. That's an attack from the enemy trying to destroy you before you reach your flower blooms properly. You know, so in all actuality, when things like that happen to you, it really shows how much you're worth. If someone tries to steal your identity from you before you get to reach your fullest potential. So there's so many women that I know who go through things like this and have went through things like this, and they're afraid, or they feel like they're not worthy. But I just wanted them to know that no matter what has been done to you, you wake up and you alive and breathing, the next day there's hope. We just can't get caught up into bitterness, which is easier said than done. But that's what the Lord, that's what Jesus, falls in. So it's just a call to, not saying it's about one particular person, because Bianca could be any woman. And that's just the main point of it. God knows that. God knows your pain. He knows your pain.
That's deep. That's deep. You spoke to me just now. Well, I'm going to play this. I'm going to play this song. This is called Bianca by J.A.C.E the Reacher.
That was Bianca's story. Yeah. Check it out. You see, her name is Bianca, and her life was full of pain and drama. It really wasn't her fault. You gotta blame her mama. Her mama's name was Rhonda. She had a thing for ganja, but when crack cocaine hit, she became a monster. See, Rhonda used to get her fix at Tony's place, and she would always use her body to get Tony straight. But Tony stopped putting decent rocks on her plate, cause she was looking sickly and had a bony shape. So Tony asked Rhonda, how bad you want it taste? Then Rhonda showed Bianca when she was only 8, and why Tony raped the only daughter Rhonda smoked. And at that point, the mother and daughter bond was choked. A little girl molested, how could Bianca cope? Was only 12 when she got into her mama's coke. Bianca almost overdosed, yet she didn't die. Was in the paper, neglected child, still alive. But Rhonda didn't care, was too busy getting high. DSS took Bianca, Lord, she got victimized. She sit and cry, all alone in a foster home, getting abused, wanting the family to call her own. Had to get away, ran away at 15, felt worthless, but deep inside she had big dreams. That's when she met Raphael, he dressed real clean. He got in the ear and put her under his wing. Man, now she on the track, laying on her back. Mama's little girl, Ralph got her on his smack. He said, so what you get high, ain't nothing wrong with that. I do too, and my embrace is where home is at. Hugged her hard and said, look what I did for you. Bianca, I ain't your mama, I will kill for you. Yet that night, accustomed to be the close to death, she was found raped and naked in an alley soaking wet. Woke up in the hospital, weighed down with so much stress. Took her weeks to fully heal. John almost broke her neck. When she could finally walk, shift away and sit up straight, she made up her mind. She was headed to a different place. Was off of heroin for months, they had to get a taste. Heard her knock on the door frame, saw a familiar face. Then Raphael entered the room with some flowers. He said, business is sour, but this year the city's ours. You my number one breadwinner, don't let me down. How does me letting you keep more channel sound? She said, okay, baby, I'm almost better now. When he was gone, she put her clothes on and fled the town. Now Bianca hitchhiking on the interstate. No money but determined she survived any place. For 6 years, she's the one Ralph would intimidated. Dealing with him daily almost made her a mental case. That's when a truck stopped and offered her a ride. Was wild as Ron's usually a cautious type of guy, but the voice inside his heart told him toss that to the side. She got in it grand, Ron got lost inside her eyes. He asked her where she was headed, she said she didn't know. Said she was tired of Georgia, so she just hit the road. But her eyes showed torture inside a weary soul. Ron opened his mouth, the Holy Spirit flowed. He said, I want you to know that God loves you. She said, whatever, if he did, I would not suffer. I had a rough life, and it's only got rougher. Ron said, you hungry? Let's go get some hot supper. The memories of Ralph and Tony brought vicious thoughts. But deep inside, this woman knew she was really lost. Besides, she liked Ron with his calm Christian talk. So she chose to accept unless he pissed her off. They ate at his house, then began telling secrets. Talked all night, Bianca's guard fell to pieces. Started crying and his warm hug left her speechless. And that night, Bianca Robinson accepted Jesus. Decades later, both their hair getting gray. Happily married couple watching all their children age. Moral of the story in these sick and wicked days is to get away really means getting saved. Jesus loves you, it's okay. Just kneel and pray, baby. Have you exercised your faith lately?
Man, that song speaks to so many women, especially myself. Because, like I said, I've experienced some traumas myself. So, those words that you spoke, I received everything that you said, and even in the song, you said that God still loves you. Because so many times we feel like we're worthless, we're undervalued, that we're not worthy. And what you said was so powerful that for someone to try to take your identity, that really means that we are definitely worthy. Oh my God, that was powerful. And what I was going to ask you prior to playing that particular video, what do you say to the youth? Because like I was telling you prior to us going live, we are seeing such a rise in violence, gun violence.
Absolutely.
So what can you say to those youth to try to make them put the guns down, and also to the youth such as my son that's growing up without, may not have their biological father in their life, because sometimes, and like I said, like you said, we as mothers, we do the best that we possibly can, especially raising sons, because we can teach you guys the right things, but sometimes you can be influenced by outside factors, your peers, and you want to be cool. And I know for some reason, boys, when they're growing up, when they're smart, they think it's not cool to be smart. And
Absolutely.
sometimes we as little girls think it's the opposite. I want to be smart, but boys, they don't think it's cool to be smart. And we want smart boys, but you guys don't look at it. Little boys don't look at it that way. So, like I said, what with the rise in violence that's going on, especially, it's just so sad. I was talking to my son, and a friend of, this little boy that he knew was killed this past Friday, unfortunately, to gun violence. And it's unfortunate. So speak to the youth in regards to the gun violence, and also to those youth or boys, and also little girls that are growing up without fathers.
Well, first and foremost, everything happens for a reason. I grew up without my father, but I realized just as well as, whatever youth is listening and whoever, you are born into the family that you're born into for a reason. You don't have a father or mother for a reason. So, when you don't have that figure, you have to look to God. You have to look to God. He's the way to go. He'll show you exactly, whether you have a father or mother or whatever, you need to seek him first. That's the first thing. Be who you are. If you're good at something and there's a passion within you that burns for whatever it is, if it's sports, if it's biology, if it's, becoming a doctor, don't allow peer pressure to destroy you, because at the end of the day, there's only going to be your mother there for you. The people that love you are going to be the only ones that are going to be there for you. So they don't tell you about, when it comes to the gangster stuff, they don't tell you about the 20 to 30 years that, you have to do, or taking a cold shower and, having to go in, the shower with knives and, people stealing from you and different things like that. It's not a pretty, end of the road when it comes to being in the streets or being rebellious. It's only going to cause you more heartache and pain. And it may seem like it's just words, but be smart enough to pay attention to the people that are around you, so you can learn from their mistakes and not have to make certain mistakes. Now, don't get me wrong. We all have issues that we face, and we're going to have our testimonies, but don't make life harder than it has to be. College is the way to go. School is cool. I used to look at the people in ROTC and I was like, man, these are corny guys. But in all actuality, they weren't corny. They overseas, they went to the army and things like that. And I was stuck behind prison walls from 22 to 32, for a mistake I made when my brain hadn't even fully developed yet. So give yourself a chance to realize you don't have it all figured out. Learn to listen. Learn to listen to people who are trying to give you knowledge and understanding, because they just might be saving you from heartache. When I got out of prison, I left so many people who were doing life sentences and 30 and 40 years from a mistake that they made, and they'll never get to go home. It's real, especially for our young Black men and women. You are already targeted. So don't make life any harder by being a hard head or being rebellious. It's cool to be smart. It's cool to learn. If you're not living unless you striving to learn something new every day. And the streets, they're trapped. Those cold concrete slabs, they don't hug you back. There's so many homeboys that I know that are doing life sentences or are dead or in jail, doing the same exact things that I did. So whatever it is that burns in your heart and you love doing it, seek that, and talk to the people that are around you. Don't feel like you're in this world alone, because if that was the case, you would be the only one here. But you were born into a family. You were born into, a role to play. And if you don't have a family, call on God even more. We should all be calling on God, but God is the answer. Christ is the answer. And trust me, I've been down that path. So that's just my advice. Really, that's my my hope, because there was really nobody to bridge the gap for me, because I was like the only one in my family that took the real gangster route. And by the grace of God, I was able to come out of it. So I would say, like, now we have so much social media stuff. You can look out, you can look for Facebook groups, or you can look for social media groups that are doing whatever it is that you're interested in, and never allow anybody to say that you are not worthy of whatever it is that you want. Because at the end of the day, you have to answer for everything that you do. The world is real. The world will chew you up, and it's getting worse. So don't play with life. You need to be focused on trying to get yourself together. So when you get 30 and 40, then you can wind down and reap the benefits of, the hard work. Because one mistake could be fatal for any of us.
Right. Okay. Well, before we close out, I gotta play my jam. You already know I gotta play my song. Grudge. Let me start it out. I gotta play this. This is my jam right here.
I appreciate it.
I survived my past.
Shout out to June 2nd.
You still here. I don't hold no grudge. I don't hold no grudge. Cause I wouldn't be who I am if I never bounced back from my cold I was. So close to the edge, so straight to the bottom, wasn't nothing left to hold me up. But God had a plan to tall like a man, do it all for the folks I love. But only him can my soul be judged. What's up? I don't hold no grudge. Cause I wouldn't be who I am if I never bounced back from my cold I was. So close to the edge, so straight to the bottom, wasn't nothing left to hold me up. But God had a plan to tall like a man, do it all for the folks I love. But only him can my soul be judged. What's up? I don't hold no grudge. Remember it all. Taking a stroll down memory hall. Pictures of old days pinned to the wall. Benjamin Frank in the gym with my dog. Hit up the streets for a criminal call. Started so small, then it evolved. Cursing whoever invented the law. Forced me to make penitentiary calls. Wanted to be like Tommy and Chick. Watching them jump in the Bonnie and Dip. Then I saw crack just bombing the strip. Like people be turning to zombies for this. Greedy for money, my conscience was split. But 100 proof liquor and chronic got hit. Was almost a son my mama would miss. I promise the drama was still. I don't hold no grudge. Cause I wouldn't be who I am if I never bounced back from my cold I was. So close to the edge, so straight to the bottom, wasn't nothing left to hold me up. But God had a plan to tall like a man, do it all for the folks I love. But only him can my soul be judged. What's up?
I don't hold no grudge.
Cause I wouldn't be who I am if I never bounced back from my cold I was. So close to the edge, so straight to the bottom, wasn't nothing left to hold me up. But God had a plan to tall like a man, do it all for the folks I love. But only him can my soul be judged. What's up?
I don't hold no grudge.
I remember the pain, taking a stroll down memory lane. Life is too tough to pretend it's a game. The way it does would enter my veins. Then I would change, something was off. No longer feeling the hunger to rob. Tossed in the jail, jumped in the pod. And when I was there, I would run into God. No more regrets, it happened to show me what's best. I just let go of the stress, had no control of the rest. I didn't know what was next, I just know I was blessed. Step out the past and work with whatever you had. Could have been dead in the bag, but you survived the school of hard knocks and you still ahead of the game. I don't hold no grudge, cause I wouldn't be who I am if I never bounced back from my cold I was. So close to the edge, so straight to the bottom, wasn't nothing left to hold me up. But God had a plan to tall like a man, do it all for the folks I love. But only him can my soul be judged. What's up? I don't hold no grudge, cause I wouldn't be who I am if I never bounced back from my cold I was. So close to the edge, so straight to the bottom, wasn't nothing left to hold me up. But God had a plan to tall like a man, do it all for the folks I love. But only him can my soul be judged. What's up?
I don't hold no grudge.
Hold no grudge.
Hey.
That's it. That's the one right there.
Man, listen, I don't hold no grudge. That's my jam. Now, let me ask you something about all the songs. Who help you give the shout outs to the beat? Who does the beats? Of course, we know you got those dope lyrics. Let me tell you something. Your lyrics, you're like a master storyteller. Like when your lyrics are so poetic that we can visualize your words before we see the video. And y'all, let me just be honest, J.A.C., you know I'm be honest on this live. Y'all, I wanted to show y'all the video so loud, so bad, but I didn't want Facebook to shut us down. So I just played the audio.
Yeah, that's true.
But you guys can actually look up J.A.C.E the Reacher's videos. The three songs that I played was Get Inside Your Element, No Grudge, and Bianca's Story. Those are my top three favorites. I love all of his music, but those are my three top favorites. But Jace, give shout outs to your producers, anybody you want to show love to. I'm here for it.
Most definitely. First and foremost, shout out to you for having this platform. This is such a blessing, and it's hard to find positive platforms. So I'm just thankful to be able to be a part of it. You know, I just want to
Yeah.
shout out, of course, June 2nd. He's a dope producer and engineer. Dramatic, YNG Dramatic. You know, he made that beat. He makes a lot of good beats. He's a producer. Y'all need to check out YNG Dramatic on Instagram, and Quentin Wilson on Facebook. You know, we got Blue Beats out there. We got Volcanic the Dawn. You know, he actually shot that video, BGA the label. So, you know, it's a lot of guys out there that are actually working. And, you know, I see a lot of love, you know, as far as, you know, one hand washing the other and us helping each other out. So, you know, shout out to everybody, you know, my sister, my mom, everybody. You know.
And you actually you can shout out the radio station because you on the radio station too.
Of course. Public Radio, Buddha Rat, a blessing to my life. Shouts to Partey, she's been a blessing. Cordelia, Kizzy Watt, Jason Hennessy. World Plugged In Radio is awesome. I really feel like they're the number one when it comes to independent, you know, artists, because you don't really see a platform like that going on, anymore. They're trying to get, you know, money from you, and they might not even play your music.
Right.
They're in the community, and they're really it's about the music. And I just want to give a shout out to all the artists, from Rude Boy Rail to Jinx the Masterpiece, to all my homeboys out there that are actually pushing, even those who I don't know, Desire Cartel, because it's tough to actually say, I'm going to record this and I'm going to put it out there for the world to hear. So anybody that has, you know, the bravery and the courage to do that, all props to you.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. What do you say to those artists that feel like they're not heard, or they feel like, you know what I'm saying? They feel like their music is not heard, or they want to, you know, they don't know how to get started. This is just, they're feeling unheard, and they're feeling discouraged. How do you encourage them to not give up, to keep, stay focused? Because it's so easy for us to lose focus. And that's in anything that we choose to do in this thing called life. That's
true. I feel like one thing I always say and question myself is, if I don't do this, will I live with the regret? So if you want to do this thing bad, you got one chance to go around in this life thing. Are you willing to live with the regret that you did not push as hard as you could? And if you are pushing you as hard as you can, just remember the timing is not up to you, it's up to God. There's a season for everybody. God used Moses when he was 80 years old. So it's not up to us to know the time of the season. It's just for us to just push the work. And when you least expect it, doors open up, and then you'll have, Tori reaching out to me to do an interview and things like that, which is a blessing, because I'm no different than anybody else. Actually, society, will look at me, corporate America will look at me as below, because I do have felonies and things like that. But I know for a fact that this is the gift that God has given me. So whatever it is that you're doing, if you know God gave you that gift, keep on pushing, because to not do so will be disrespecting the Lord, saying that he didn't bless the right person with the gift.
Exactly.
It ain't about feelings.
Say that again for those in the back. It ain't about feelings.
It's not about feelings. Once you realize that it's just about you being a gift to other people, the way you feel about it. I mean, for instance, you got kids. If you got a child, you might wake up and you don't want to deal with nobody. But if you have a child or children, your feelings are not going to stop you from providing for your children. So the gift that you have within you is your child as well. And he wants you to nourish it and not think about how I feel or poor me. Keep on pushing. It's going to work out. Get inside your element. Right. And don't hold the grudge while you're at it.
Right. That's what's up. Right. And you know what I love about you is the fact that it's a beautiful thing. And this is just me coming from a woman's perspective. It is a beautiful thing to see an alpha male that profess their love for Christ. Some men are not bold enough to show that they love Christ. Some, they feel like, no, they might say it behind, close, but you publicly, being an alpha male, you publicly tell the world, I love Jesus. You know what I mean? And that says a lot about your character. It says a lot about you learn from your past, and ain't no looking back for you. It's moving forward constantly.
Praise God. Yeah. And that's what I'm gonna continue to do. And hey, we as men, we must realize that we're born to lead, but you don't lead in an introvert way. It's cool to express your emotions. It's cool to let people know how you feel. It's cool to get advice. Nobody can live this life by themselves. And I've dealt with a lot of guys, doing time. Remember, everybody needs help. So reach out, and it doesn't make you less of a man. It makes you more of a man, because you're comfortable enough with your masculinity to say, hey, this is how I feel and this is who I am. And hey, see me. I need help. And I wouldn't have been able to make it to this point in my life, period, if it wasn't for my mother's prayers and my grandmother's prayers and wasn't for God, Christ looking after me. So we'll stand up and we'll say, oh, I got the loud pack. I got the nicest car. I got the prettiest women around. But when it comes to the one who created us, we got to glorify him more than all of that, because he's the one. He's the head. He's the one who gave us the, the ability to do any of those things. So to me, it's just, not to be too long with it. It's just turning around a negative to a positive. If you have the gift of gab, don't use it for manipulation. Use it to build, and so forth and so on.
Wow. You said a mouthful right there.
Because I used to do it. I used to tear people down. I used to do that.
But you're not anymore. So we're not looking back.
Gotta build them up.
Yeah, it's all about building people up, because I believe in speaking. I believe in speaking life into people, not only speaking life into people, but also speaking life into myself. And I had to learn that, because I would always build people up and I would tear myself down. So I'm learning now that everything that I give to other people, I can give back to myself.
Absolutely. That's heavy what you said. Life and death are in the power of the tongue.
Right. And like when you speak like woe is me, then guess what's gonna happen? Whatever you're saying out, whatever you're professing out of your mouth, that is what's going to happen. So I'm learning, and it makes a difference being around the right people, having people in your circle that instead of talking about you, they're going to pray for you, pray with you, and pray for you. That makes all the world of the difference. So
absolutely, it does.
Yeah,
two more that he's in the midst.
Exactly. But I thank you so much. I was hyped up about this interview all last week.
God, me too. I'm not even on front. I was excited.
Definitely you got to come back. We got to figure out a way next time we got to do something, because I wanted to show the video so bad, but like I said, I didn't want us to get shut down. So I just played the audio, but we got to figure something out that we can show the video. But you guys can definitely look the videos up so you can see the video. But like I said, J.A.C.E does such a awesome job with his lyrics are so poetic, and you can see the visual before you actually see it. That's the beauty of it. So J.A.C.E, you are doing such a wonderful job. I would say to you, just keep doing. You're on the right path. Just keep doing what you're doing. Because like I said, you motivated me. Like when I heard that first song, Get Inside Your Element, I was like, whoa. And then that particular day when you was on that live and you just start flowing, I was like, whoa, this dude is dope right here.
Inside my element. I'll never be a ball player. I can rap though.
See, I'm you know what? I think I can rap just a little bit. I know I write poetry. So what I may need to do is put a little beat to it and flow with it. Because I got a homeboy that has been trying to get me in the studio to put some beats to my poetry for a while. So maybe I may take him up on that and put my poetry on some music and just flow with it. But it ain't gonna be like, I don't want no grudge. I don't know. That's my no doubt. I understand that song right there. Last night, or probably the night before, I listened to that song probably 3 or 4 times on repeat. Now that's my jam. That song gets me hyped. Like I said, I love all your music, but I don't hold no grudge. That's my jam right there. That's my jam.
Wait till you see what I got coming next. I got a lot of music. I'm actually gonna drop a song called "Don't Let the Bully Play" this week, and it's basically in commemoration of the leaders like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and the people who, stood up against the violence. So it's about, violence in the Black community, as well. And I'm going to keep on pushing. You can check me out on YouTube. I got a YouTube channel. Thanks for the support. It's growing. Check me out on Spotify, iTunes. I also have a mixtape called Let Me Help You Up on Audio Mac, and it's definitely a good listen. So y'all check me out.
Definitely. And also tell everyone all your because that was going to be my next question. What you got coming up? Also, tell everyone the handles that they want to reach out to you, that they want to book your performances, whether it be for your music, whether for you to be to come and speak to the youth, motivational speaking engagements, or just give out all your social media handles. And also, if you have a number that you'd like to share publicly, that people can reach out to you personally, if you feel comfortable. But if not, just send out your social media handle. They can inbox you or an email so they can get in contact with you.
Well, I appreciate it. On Instagram, IG, I'm Incredible Rapper J.A.C.E the Reacher, all lowercase letters. On Facebook, J.A.C.E T-R You can reach me at jstamp64@yahoo.com. If you want to, conversate or, get me to, come and talk about the Lord or talk about the testimony, and I just look forward to hearing from you guys, man. And, I just want to encourage everybody that's listening, you're here for a reason. You're here for a purpose. I don't care if you're in a bad relationship. I don't care what's going on. If you're down to your last dollar, if you call out to Jesus, just ask him to prove himself to you. I guarantee he will. He'll do just that.
Absolutely. Well, J.A.C., anytime you want to come back, just holler at a sister. You're always welcome on any platform I have. You're always welcome.
I appreciate it. And you already know you're welcome here anytime. I'll be there. I'll be there.
Well, sounds like a plan. Well, I'm not going to take too much of your time. So thank you so much for taking out time in your busy schedule. And you guys, thank you so much for listening. If you guys did not hear the beginning of the show, you can definitely watch the replay. It's aired on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope. And I'm also going to upload the audio. And once we end the live, I'm going to write in the comments where you can find the audio once I get the audio uploaded. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all the comments, and thank you guys for your support of me. And thank you everybody that will support support of J.A.C.E. Thank you for sharing the post. Thank you for it all. It doesn't go unnoticed. I appreciate it all. And like I said, J.A.C.E., anytime you want to come back, just hit me up, and I'm here for it.
I'll be there most definitely. I appreciate you. Shout out to Tori.
Thank you. And I shout out to gotta show love to Cordelia as well. Yeah, Cordelia, my girl, like linked the, put it up, set it up and got us linked up. So I appreciate her as well. So big shouts out to her. And like I said, thank you all for all the support, and thank you all for watching. You guys have a great evening. Peace.